Is there blood? Who's killing who? Where did they get shot? I have to see. Things are really starting to get exciting. Yes, 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 yes.
What's up, guys? I'm Noob Genesis, and today you're going to be watching a streak that at the time when I got this, I was incredibly happy with myself. This is a M.O.A.B fail, as you can probably tell by the title, and it's not just that, it's a sniping M.O.A.B fail with the MSR, and when you see how I die, I was so pissed off, and it could not have been, like, the most noobiest possible death or wave to kill someone, and it happened. So I hope you stick around and see the end of that, because it is freaking annoying. Even watching it, I watched it back, because as I said, this is an old gameplay. Another thing is, you're going to get to see me freak out. Like, I did a video on feeling pressure and stuff like that. This is back when I was still new to sniping. So this is back when MW3, halfway through when it was still current. So I was fairly new, and later on you're going to see me like aiming like absolute shit, just because I freaked myself out pretty much. And also one more thing, I apologize, it is probably going to get campy, because you know how it is whenever you go for your first ever M.O.A.B or whatever it is, Chem Strike, Nuke, whatever the first game was you play with a big streak like that, you kind of go campy just to make sure you get it done, and I do that in this, because I was just like, oh my god, and it was not my first one, but it was my first sniping one. Anyway, on to the commentary. What I want to talk about in this video is my first online gaming, like, experiences. Because I mentioned in my introduction video, when my very first ever video on YouTube, that I used to play a little bit of Halo. Oh, sorry, not a little bit. I used to play a lot of Halo Online. But Halo wasn't what got me into online games. Halo was just what got me into online FPSs, and we are going back years and years before Halo. So I'm going to run you over a quick timeline going from now to back then. Right now I'm playing League of Legends, that's my main game, and then I've got Call of Duty, that was the one before that. Before that was World of Warcraft. I used to play that game a fair bit. And there was obviously other games that were kind of like brief ones in between, like Tribal Wars and shit. But these are like games that I played a shit ton of time off. And before World of Warcraft is the two games that got me into online gaming properly. And when I mention them, I'm pretty sure my subscriber count's going to get cut in half. Or they're going to appreciate the fact that these games are freaking awesome at the time. One of them was. I don't know. A lot of people had a problem with the second one. Anyway, the first ever game, and this is back in primary school, back when I was just a little kid. My first ever online games. I don't even know if you can call it an online game. Neopets. Yeah. That game was the shit. I used to love that game. I used to actually think I was good, but then when I got into high school, a bunch of kids had like this little phase where they went through playing it, and I went and checked, and I realized that I absolutely sucked at Neopets. I did remember there was one thing though. There was a thing called Meerkat Chase or Meerkat Chase or some shit, and it was like Snake pretty much, just the typical game of Snake or Worm or whatever, where you got to go around and collect the little apples. But in this one, you were some kind of little Neopet thing. And I remember I came third in the world at that game. Not because I was good, but because my computer was so shit it couldn't run the Flash game properly. So I was literally running it at like 1 frame per second. So I could literally sit there on the hardest difficulty so I get the most score and just watch every frame go by, and I could just hit the arrow key until my tail just got too long and I couldn't handle it anymore. So I got to like 3rd place in the world by effectively unintentionally cheating. And I'm pretty sure here you can see me freak out with my accuracy. Yeah. But anyway, so that was like my first ever game, and I remember we used to play that at school and all that, and it was so awesome. It's, at the same time, it's not really what you'd call a typical online game. So that's why I'm going to be doing the first 2 games that I ever played. And the second one gets a lot of hate. It does get a lot of hate, and it's more one of those ones, if you played it for a long time, you understood it. You didn't have, like, it was for some people, it wasn't for some people. But it was for me, and I played it for quite some time. My count is over 10 years old on it, because I played this back when it just came out pretty much, like a few months after it came out. And I still remember it to this day. I was at my cousin's place, and we're both bored, we're sitting on his computer, and we didn't know what we felt like doing. So we ended up looking up some random online games, and I'm pretty sure it was on what was it called? Was it Mini Clip or Mini Game? I don't know what it's called. There was this website that was really popular with all these mini games, and it had this link to this one game, and we went onto it, and I just remember I saw it loading, and then the music started playing, and the pillars on the side, and then the little cups with flames. Like, it was just so awesome with the music. And if you know what that is already, you know where I'm going with this. If not, don't unsubscribe. It was RuneScape. That's right. RuneScape was the main game that got me into online gaming. And I know a lot of you are like, wow, I fucking hate you. And some of you actually do like RuneScape. You know what? I don't have a problem with it. Like, again, it's one of those games that you had to get. You had to be one of the people that wanted to do it. And the best way I could describe it for the people who wanted to play it, it was kind of like a completionist thing. The game had so many flaws that didn't make it even nearly as fun as other games. But it had like this achievement aspect of when you did something, you completed it, you did it right. And I ended up playing it for many years, on and off. I remember I played for like 2 years straight or something, then I quit for a year, then I came back, and all this stuff. And my account's like 10 years old now. I don't play it anymore, but I think by the time there was this thing that happened called Evolution of Combat, that's when I permanently quit, right then and there. Didn't go back to it until they released 07scape, which is 2007 version of RuneScape, and I played that for about 2 weeks just to see what it was like. And you know, it's alright. It's just the old school RuneScape. And it really did put into perspective all the things they changed over the years, both good and bad, because everyone loves to look at the bad things in games and bitch about them, and I'm no exception to that. But when it came back to 07scape and there was like no Grand Exchange, I realized I actually liked the Grand Exchange. I mean, a lot of people didn't, and don't get me wrong, having the old nostalgic feeling of having to go to the certain world and trading people, avatar to avatar, I guess you'd call it, because it's the character, but trading them like that had a lot of nostalgia. But it's a fucking hassle! Like, Grand Exchange was actually really good, but there was such a huge problem with it, and I had a problem with it at first too. I thought it was going to fuck with the economy like crazy. But it was interesting with 07scape. And yeah, that game, like, I clocked up so many hours, like more hours than I could say with any other game, even more than WoW when I used to play that. I was just the biggest fucking nerd, and there's my death. The guy headshots me, a level 14, one burst headshots me with an M16 when I am 1 kill off. And to put the cherry on top of the icing, if you notice, my hardline is not Hardline Pro. I get 2 assists in that. If my hardline was Hardline Pro, I would have got the fucking M.O.A.B 2. I was pissed. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this gameplay. Hope you enjoyed this commentary. I'm sorry the gameplay was a little campy, but it was old school, and it was kind of I don't know, I was just nervous at the time. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed, and as always, have fun.